Hey there, this is Darren. This is kind of a cool room. It looks like I'm in the Men in Black movie, but it's a really cool hotel in Houston. I'm speaking to NSA Houston in the morning, but read some on the plane and actually started doing a little bit of the first exercise from Sid's book. Now I remember why I didn't finish reading Sid's book. It's like you do an exercise after each step that you read about. Anyway, this is the challenge, and I did start writing a little bit based on what he's saying, not the writing of the script, but the writing of step one. And it's about what's your movie about. So he uses Thelma and Louise, which is one of the movies that he teaches from, and it was actually from emerged from Kelly Corey, who was one of his students, I guess, and driving down the road, and she thought, um, what? Okay, driving down the road, and she thought, two women go on a crime spree. And that's the idea. That's what it's about. And that was the impulse for the original script. So she sat down, and then she had to answer some questions. Well, who are the two women? What crime did they commit? What made them commit the crime? What happens at the end? So it's the first thing that two women, or the idea that two women go on a crime spree that gets some solidity or solidifies the idea, but then it allows, okay, next questions helps us go deeper to find out more about the story. So the first exercise is, he also uses the example of sideways. And so my first exercise is to figure out, well, what is my script about? And so he suggests writing out all the ideas, all the things that you want, 3 or 4 pages, and then getting it down to 3 lines. Work. It's so much easier to just read for 15 minutes. But, yeah. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on. So I started writing it. I've got a lot of notes and a lot of ideas, but I've got to narrow it down. He said, and if he was Craig Valentine, you would know. He said, you got to go through the mess to get to the message, and that's exactly what's happening here. So a great example, Thelma and Louise. But what is the story about? And two women go on a crime spree. So I got to narrow it down to that simple. And there you go. So, yes, I made progress, probably about 17 minutes or so. There you go. So I'm excited about NSA Houston tomorrow with my buddy Scott Cooksey, who is the president here who brought me in, who is an old friend. And if you ever saw the Get Paid to Speak by Next Week program, the page that tells you about it, Scott is one of those testimonials from when I knew him from the old Tulsa, Oklahoma days. So I'm excited about that. But this is about you. What are you going to do? And I'm feeling a little uncomfortable starting to do the writing, but taking 3 pages and then narrowing it down to like 3 lines. What's the story about? So that's my challenge. And anyway, I'm going to bed. Good night. See you tomorrow. What will you do tomorrow? See you soon.